stick around for the weekend, Mike? Or did you guys move? Good morning, everyone. Welcome and good morning to everyone. Welcome to the virtual staff assembly for 2020, our first and hopefully last and only one of our careers that we ever will do with this. Miss you all. I wish we were in person. Um, just can't say enough about the dedication and the work you guys have been doing. So chance today to sit back, hopefully have a cup of coffee, relax. Lance has done a lot of work. He is the maestro behind this show along with Drew Stansberry. And so they will be doing the screen sharing and catching up. But Lance has a little introduction. We're all on Zoom today. We have been on Zoom for a while, and there's some funnies and some things that have happened, I'm sure, in some of your Zoom meetings. But there's some things around the nation that Lance has captured. To start with a little humor. So welcome, sit back, please relax. We have some great people we want to honor this morning, including all of you that are watching. And we hope to be done in about 45 minutes so that you can go to your regular staff meetings with your individual buildings and principals. So welcome and good morning. So Lance, with this Zoom era, there's been some interesting things happening. So yeah. So what do you got there?
Oh, this is just, I was just kind of a little fun clip that shows how's working from home going. And then of course, there's a picture of how I look when I don't have the video on, as opposed to have the video on. Of course, pink is not typically my color. I usually
for those of us with hair, Lance.
Yeah. But and then there's kind of another funny little screenshot there of some other teacher was making kind of light of the way their students look on Zoom sometimes in the morning or at any time of the day. Of course, morning to the students usually is around lunchtime, I think.
Yeah.
And then next up, we've got a little clip I want to show. Hopefully nobody.
And if I just,
Oh my God, did he fall?
And it's really challenging, I know, with children home from school and working from home. But just trying to just keep all of those distractions out of the...
The whole page comes down.
no, don't touch the computer. I'm talking the whole metal part of the screen.
The monitor itself.
Don't use the mouse.
Okay. Now, wait a minute. It says mute, stop video.
No, I don't want you to do anything on the computer.
Share screen.
I don't want you to do anything on the computer.
In reality, I've heard that social work kind of has very high standards and like good standards of other professions don't have.
Hold on.
What's up?
Tony, I can see you.
We can all see you.
So anyway, I think those were probably kind of staged, or a couple of them were anyway, but it was still, they're kind of funny, and I think we can relate to some of them. Hopefully, nobody had all that happen to them on Zoom.
Yeah.
We're going to just end here with a quick shot of our A-team on Zoom that I got just as a random shot, and just to show you how studious we all are on our Zoom calls.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for bleeping out my Zoom bloopers. Yeah, there's been a few. So, well, very good. Well, thank you for sharing, Lance, and good morning again to everyone. Just want to thank you all. It's been an interesting year. This morning we get to honor some teachers that are retiring, and I know that last year is a very special year. So we want to make it as special as we can, just like we did for our seniors, who is also their last year, but it ended in a different way. Very unique, memorable way. And thank you all for your hard work. I know many of you put in some extraordinary hours, different hours. Many of us were up late, like Lance said. We found out that the life of a student sometimes doesn't start till 10 a.m. and sometimes it doesn't end till after 10 p.m. for academic purposes. And all of you are troopers. I know many of you were online in Zoom meetings or in win time, helping students 24/7. Didn't matter when. That just says a lot about your professionalism and dedication to the profession. Just a huge thank you. We've tried our best to be in communication weekly and daily through our A-team, through live broadcasts. Like I said, Lance has just been invaluable in this process. And Drew, our district is so fortunate to have a technology team and a communications team that is so professional. Other districts aren't able to deliver the type of communications we were during this time. And that's because of the people behind the scenes. It's not so much the technology. Everybody has the technology. It's the dedicated people with the know-how and the passion and the want to get it done and be able to deliver that message to our great people. Another group that I want to thank this morning is I know they have also been stressed out during this time, had to have gone into a different leadership mode than they usually do, and that's our Board of Education. And I want to reach out and thank them. If Lance is able to show their screen, we have Robert Rapp and Kevin Odell, Marla Greer, Marcia Mahon, Matt Aiken, and Chris Kruger. So a welcome to them as they join us today virtually. Marcia actually had a business appointment this morning, so she's going to share a video with us in a little while. But these people, professionals, all in their own careers and demanding careers and impacted by COVID, just like all of us, but continue to look out for the district and lead. And we've had to have had virtual meetings. We've had to do some different things as far as decisions, and just a huge thank you to them. I couldn't ask for a better Board of Education to lead us during this time. At this time, I believe Lance has worked with Marcia to create a message, and she would like to bring that message forward. So Lance, I'll let you share that at this time.
Good morning and greetings on behalf of the Board of Education. We'd like to take just a moment to say thank you to our retiring folks within the district. We wish you many, many years of good health and happy times and memories made with friends and family. We hope you get to do some things that you haven't been able to do because of work commitments. We are grateful for your many, many years of service here. We'd also like to say thank you to all of our staff and our folks who work for us, from food service to maintenance to bus drivers and all of our classified and non-classified staff. This has been a crazy time, and the board recognizes that every day was kind of a challenge, especially at the beginning. I've grown a little bit weary of the buzz phrase that we're all in this together and in these unprecedented times, but it truly has been a difficult period for all of you, and we know that and we recognize it. So we are so grateful for your commitment to kids and all of the extra things that you've done during this period. We're so hopeful for fall, and we'd love to be able to have it start like it normally does. So let's keep our fingers crossed. But it's time now for you to have a summer break, and we hope you all enjoy some of that with family and with friends. For those of you who are continuing to work throughout the year, we hope you take some vacation and get away and do some things, because you all deserve it. And so please accept our gratitude on behalf of the board. I'm going to leave you with a little something that I think says a lot about what we do here. When you're faced with a trial, don't give up. Don't surrender. Move forward, because you'll never know the lives you will be able to touch. And I think that's true throughout this entire period. You really don't know the impact that you might have had on that child that you did a YouTube video with, or that got to go to a parade and see all of you. So please know that we are grateful for your commitment, and we hope to see you all in the fall. Thank you. Have a great summer.
That's a very nice message, I think echoed by all of us. Thanks to Marcia for those words and for recording that. Just from a different angle, to all of you, all staff, like Marcia had said, that are working from a parent perspective. I know several of us that are on the Zoom meeting today, several administrators have our own birth children in the district under your care and continue to be under your care virtually when this all went down. And I couldn't ask for anything more as a parent than what was delivered to my own child through curriculum, through your work. Just a fantastic job. And I think those of us that are on the screen with parents, if you could give a thumbs up for those of you that experienced the same thing. I know it was widespread. A huge thank you from all of us as administrators, as colleagues, but also from those that are parents. A big, big heartfelt thank you to all of our staff. At this time, we'd like to move into the stars of our show, our retiring teachers. First of all, a huge thank you for them to join us today. And like I said, we would usually have some times throughout the year to stop and pause and recognize your year and your career. Just know that because this is being done virtually, it carries the same magnitude of thanks and affection and just feeling for all of your years of service and for you as people. So as we move into this, our first teacher is Celeste Merchant. So Celeste's slide is up there, as you can see, 4th grade teacher at Cardinal. I'm going to give the teachers a chance to speak if they wish, but I also want to honor their wishes. And then their principal, if they wish to say a few words, that'd be fine too. So, Celeste, do you have any words this morning? We're very much honored to have you with us, and just a huge thank you for everything you've done over the years.
No, not really. I just want to thank you.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Well, thank you. It's very emotional. And it should be, because you've invested a huge part of your life, your soul, and your heart into the kids. And I know there are thousands of voices across the community and nation that say the same. Dan, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. This isn't exactly how we wanted to roll the red carpet out for Celeste, but we'll do the best we can here. I'll take a few minutes here, but not only 38 years of impacting children in their classroom, she also was a cheerleading coach at the high school. And if anybody hasn't talked to Celeste about her trips that she took across the state of Nebraska with 4th graders, they are quite interesting. And I got to tell you, when we were talking about it within our staff meeting, I immediately got on the phone and I texted some teachers and said, how can we get this going again? And I just don't know if it's possible, but she did a lot with that. So a couple of things that stick out when I think about Celeste is she had huge expectations for every single student in her room, and she held them to those expectations, and the kids got better every single day they were in her room. And her love for Nebraska history is just, it's unbelievable. And we have some teachers that call her the Queen of Nebraska at Cardinal. So she just does a great job there. She's going to be dearly missed at Cardinal Elementary. She's been a cornerstone there since it opened. And like I said, 38 years of teaching. We're going to miss her at Cardinal, and we wish her nothing but the best. And I sure hope, Celeste, that you can send me pictures of those fish that you catch. Best wishes. Thanks for all you've done.
Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you.
Our next retiree, Becky Hansen, she took a little bit of persuasion to be here this morning, which I understand. Very humble, wanted to ride off into the sunset quietly, but we demanded that she show up with us today. So thank you for being here, Becky. And she shared with me in an email just a neat thing that she had done. I'll give her a chance to speak, but if you could please just share. Talk about high expectations. She has high expectations in her classroom also, but she talked about distributing a little memento at the end of the year to her students. That's kind of become a tradition, and she was able to do that again this year. So thank you. Congratulations, Becky. Welcome. And please share whatever you wish.
Well, I don't have much to share. I'll be like Celeste and start crying, but a couple of the experiences I've been able to have is I've had 2 of my grandchildren to teach over the years, which was amazing. And then I've taught both of Heather Martinick's kids, which was also amazing. They're like my grandkids. So not everybody has had that experience. Just thanks to everybody. I'm not saying goodbye. I'm just saying see you later. I have a lot of friends in the district and I love them all. That's it.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, she was sharing that she gives out some dog tags. Can you talk a little bit about that? What do the dog tags say on them?
Well, they've always said, you survived Mrs. Hanson's 4th grade. But this year I had to say, you survived most of Mrs. So I had to have them fixed differently, and just a growth mindset one. And two of my favorite things for my kids over the years have been to move your own mountains, and just thank you for the memories. Paige convinced me to drive around and deliver them after I found out it would cost me like $140 to mail my packages. So it was fun. I wore my mask and knocked on their door and ran to the sidewalk. For an old lady, that's a lot of effort, but it was fun. They came to the door and the parents I got to wave. It's a little helps a little bit with the closure. It's a hard way to end the year with not being able to give hugs. I'll come back when they're legal again.
Yes. Very good. Well, yes, you do that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and congratulations, Becky. Our next teacher, Mary Beth Rogers from Harney, our, I guess, speech language pathologist, but I would welcome her to say a few words. Again, congratulations on a fine career, and then feel free to add whatever you wish, Mary Beth. But again, thank you for being here, and we appreciate any words that you have.
Well, thank you very much. And it has been a very weird way to end everything, but I did have the opportunity to Zoom with most of my students. And so that really did help with the closure. I was really grateful for that. It would have been very difficult without that opportunity. Yeah. And I already know that I miss them because of the way that things have ended, but very much will miss the students and my colleagues. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Like Becky had said, hopefully you guys get to come back next year when we're back in person and the social distancing isn't such an issue. But I'd like to give, Mike, would you have anything that you wish to say?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Strom. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of our Harney family, I would like to thank Mary Beth for all of her years of service to our Harney students and South Sioux City schools. We have a running joke in our core SAT meetings, and I know Mary Beth knows what I'm about to say. So one final time, it sounds like a speech issue, Mary Beth. But seriously, enjoy your well-deserved retirement, and please come back and visit us when all this is over.
Yes. Blessings to all of you. Thank you for the impact you've made on the lives. Like I said, thousands of lives impacted. All three of you are spoken of highly throughout the community, from former students, parents that have had you maybe as a teacher or have their own students in your classes. I know if we had such a thing as teacher choice in our district for parents to pick which classrooms to put their students in, all three of you would be high on that list. And please enjoy your well-deserved retirement. And like I said, blessings upon you and your families always. Thanks again. At this time, I'd like to move into one of our more exciting awards of the year. Last year was the first year we got to do it. And so Lance, of course, is our director of our foundation. We have also a strong foundation board led by President Michelle Rapp. Our foundation just continues to gain momentum. Much of it is fueled by you as staff members. And Lance will talk about that a little bit. But in addition to the many hats that he wears, Lance is also, as you know, our director of foundation, along with the director of communications. And so I'd like to welcome Lance to move forward with this presentation. This would naturally, in a regular ceremony, be a huge thing on our stage, and hopefully next year we're back at it again. But just keep this in mind. We're excited to announce some recipients this year. So good morning, Lance. Thank you for everything.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. And thank you so much, Mr. Strom. I'm so excited to be here again. A year ago, I was able to get up on the stage and kind of share a little bit about the foundation and what we've been doing. And obviously that's continued. It's been a great year. We've been very successful. We've done a lot of nice things thanks to the staff here, like you said, and their commitment to the foundation and their buy-in of the foundation. I can't begin to tell you how disappointed the foundation board and myself were and are, because the year didn't end like we had planned, but we made the best of it, and we made many of the things that we do as a foundation kind of on the formal side are this time of year. So someone's bringing me a note here. Oh, no. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you. But we have those grants, and then I'm excited to announce them. And like I was saying, kind of at the end of the year, we are able to do some neat things like our banquet. But we were able to have a no banquet this year and show some slides of that, and kind of made it at least somewhat honoring. And I think a lot more people probably got to see it than we normally would get at a banquet. So anyway, with that, I do want to thank our board. This was kind of a odd way to do it this year, and then we had to kind of meet as a board over Zoom and on email, and it was a lot more different and complicated than usual. So anyway, long story short, I want to get right into the winners here of this year's mini grants and scholarships. So this year we were able to award 13 of the mini grants, thanks to everybody's generous donation. And then of course, I was able to earn some extra money, or almost match our dollar for dollar with the generous employee donations we're able to gain us for this year. So anyways, I'm going to start at the top here. The first winner is Rita Dreiling from the school counseling department. And she's going to do a Calm Corner kit, for one for her classrooms, one for each of her classrooms that she goes around to. Angela Von Hagel got the K through 5 technology one, or one of the technology ones for her STEM activity. Jessica Delaney is a 3rd grade teacher at Harney, and she got a flexible seating for learners mini classroom grant. And Zohar is at the tech person at Lewis and Clark, or the instructional tech person, and she's doing one for coding and robotics. Chris Fondrak got the math one, 6th grade math, and she's going to do one on enhancing math skills with real world connections. Kelly Perez got 1st grade. She's a 1st grade teacher. She got one for increasing student vocabulary and background knowledge. Holly DeForest with the kindergarten got one for flexible seating again. Mrs. Johnson at the high school, Mrs. Tammy Johnson, she got one for lower Lexile level books, which are always a need for. And Kendra Beasley got one for 8th grade science, and she's going to do it on limited space, unlimited potential, blended learning. I love some of these titles. Mr. Wright, Mike Wright, he's got some stuff for the PE and strength training called Push Project, the velocity-based training. Maggie Hubbard, 3rd grade teacher, got one for social and emotional for a Calm Down Center. And Angela Rickliffs got one for hands-on learning for her 1st grade classroom. And Heidi Niles got one for books and more books for 6th grade language arts. So those are our 13 winners, and congratulations to them. And I'm so excited to share their stories out and their information next year, as I know next year is going to be back in person and be able to do all that fun stuff and do that. So thank you very much, and congratulations. We will get the checks out to you, and I'll be sharing an email communications with you, kind of the directions of what we're going to do with that. Once again, it's that time of year where I kind of hit you up again for the payroll deduction. And if you can just sign up before June 1st here, you will get a free shirt. So we're going to have a new design on our shirt, and you get to wear those shirts on Fridays, on Spirit Fridays. So it's pretty fun to be part of that. And I just am so proud when I see you folks wearing those shirts around from last year. And it makes me excited and proud about the things we're doing with that. So with that, I will post this. I will send these links out from all of this today on an email right after we finish up today. And then, of course, I'll try and post them in chat too here.
Yeah, fantastic, Lance. Yeah, the projects that are on there are all impactful projects, well thought out by our teachers. I'm excited to see that money used in the classrooms and for our students. Thank you for all your support, everyone that is doing payroll deduction or doing fundraisers for the foundation or giving money back to the foundation in any way. It's definitely needed. And as you can see, much of it goes right back into the classroom in the ways that you intended. So thank you, Lance, for your leadership. Thank you to Michelle and the board also for your leadership.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And I really appreciate my board and the leadership there too. Thank you very much, Michelle Rapp, and to all of our board members and everybody that's made from the mini dome birthday party clear to little different things helping with the banquets and or the fundraisers or selling ice cream or whatever we've done. It's truly a group effort. Thank you.
Very good. Next, we are entering into summer. It has also been a different year for Doyle and his crew, of course, and they have been impacted somewhat by COVID, the family, some of them personally. And so that crew has been on and off. The night crew has been involved. We've had to reorganize, tackle some of the cleaning and disinfecting in a different way. We've had to reorganize projects so that we can get them done before summer, because we know that there's possibility that as the directive health measure is lifted, everybody's chomping at the bit to get in to use our facilities. And so Doyle is the man that organizes all that. He's reacted fantastically. All of us have been in some stressful situations, but Doyle's situation carries as much or as more stress of any of the departments in the district. And so thank you for being with us today, Doyle. And if you could please share some of the summer projects. I know it looks a little different, and some of them probably you don't really know for sure yet if they can be completed. Some of them are already done. So welcome. And good morning, Doyle.
Good morning. I'll just go through some items that we're doing this summer. As you know, we're already painting in the buildings. The custodians are working hard along with the maintenance people. Got to just thank the custodians for the hard work they've done. Been pretty stressful, but they did a good job, and they're working hard. We're doing a few carpets in each building, not a lot, but probably one room in each facility. Naturally, we're trying to get the football bleachers back together and getting a few bids on how to fix those or replace. The tennis court's sort of an ongoing issue still. Welcome Center. We're moving from the Welcome Center to the library on the avenue. That should be done in, I would say, by the middle to end of June. Drew's has a great gaming room going in over there at the tech center, and just a few odds and ends on replacing cement in the district. That's about it for today.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, some of the work that's already been done, like you had mentioned, the gym floors and all that have been done. So as we talk about in a bit here about the possibility of some summer activities, the gym floors have been resurfaced. They're not going to get done again. So just a heads up to our coaches, our athletes, anybody that be using those gyms. What you see is what you get for the rest of the year. Make sure we take care of them. Doyle's done a good job of getting ahead of the ball on that. So thank you so much. The mention of the Welcome Center, for those of you that don't know, we sold the Welcome Center that we are currently in, and we have leased the north part of the public library, and we are renovating space in there. So it'll be right on Dakota Avenue. There will be more parking on the side of the street on the north side and also in the back. And you will soon see some branding, some nice wrap on the windows facing both there's some signage on the north. There'll be some signage facing Dakota Avenue on that atrium area of the north side of the public library. That's where our new welcome center will be housed. So thank you, Doyle. Thank you to you and your crew for everything you've done. It looks great right now. I'm sure the mowing is a bear because the grass is growing, but it's green. The landscaping looks nice. The flowers look great. Good job. Everything's going well.
Thank you.
Next, Lance, the summer learning plan slide I think that you're sharing. We have done quite a bit of planning, mostly the administrative teams. There have also been some counselors, some teachers involved, but those summer learning plans under the direction of Tracy Howman, our Director of Curriculum Instruction and Assessment, are ready to roll, and they'll be shared by your principals after this meeting in your staff meetings. Some of them are in different stages, but if you look through that slide, you can see what's going on. We thought it's important just kind of give you an update of what's going on at the high school, middle school, and elementary. If one of the high school administrators would be interested in giving us just a quick summary of what you have planned for the summer, definitely appreciate that. I don't mean to put anybody on the spot, but you can do a better job than I can.
Sure, this is Dave Clausen. I can give a brief summary real quick over what we're going over for the summer. Right now, we have a few seniors that did not complete their graduation requirements, and they are working on Apex to finish up with that. And since it's been graduation has been moved to July, they have a little bit more time to finish that up. So there's a couple of seniors doing that. I'm actually going to send out some contracts today. We had some kids that were not able to not earn their credits for that last term D session, and we've had a number of teachers that have volunteered to and applied to teach virtual summer school for the Google Classroom, and that will start on June 3rd through the 26th. Those are most of our core classes, and students will be getting a letter in the mail if they failed their term D core class that they can enroll for summer school, June 3rd. And then finally, we have, although students won't be here in the building, we will have kids that can take Apex, which we've always done for summer school in our building, and kids will be able to sign up from June 12th to July 31st to complete Apex classes via online. And so 3 different options for our students. Really appreciate the willingness of our staff to get involved and help our students to get learning and earn their graduation requirements.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for sharing, and thank you to the high school administration team for all your work and everyone else that was involved in that planning. Would someone from the middle school like to give us a short summary of your planning process, please?
Yep, I'll go ahead. We're starting June 2nd through 26th, so basically the month of June. We're targeting about 40 students. That's our goal in English, language arts, and math. We're hoping to get about 10 teachers, so each teacher would have 4 to 5 students on their caseload, and then really focus on one-to-one attention with those kids. Summer school is required for those. We're going to contact them starting today. It'll be via Google Classroom and Zoom. But since it's teachers' caseload's only 4 to 5 kids, we can really focus in on that and get these kids engaged who weren't earlier this year or the whole year, actually. So we're going to use a lot of content from 4th quarter and then just in general for the standards. Kids will be targeted for what skills they need, whether it's math or language arts or both. So we're still looking for a couple more teachers. If anyone's interested, we've got 7. We need two or three more. So if you're interested, go ahead and I'd appreciate it if you would apply soon so we can get you set up. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Tom. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for all your work on that. Thank you to the teachers that are volunteering to teach at all levels. We know there's a learning gap that has widened because of all this, and so your expertise and dedication is appreciated. I know the elementary has been working hard on their summer plans also. They were just visiting a little bit before we started this actual broadcast while we're on Zoom. So if someone would be willing to share the elementary planning, I think Jessica maybe is with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Todd. The elementary principals have been working on what elementary summer school will look like. It's going to look a little bit more like a jump start, helping kids review skills before school starts. It likely will take place in July for about 12 days. The focus will be on ELA and math, again, reviewing and helping kids get ready for the upcoming school year. We're still working through some things, whether it would be remote learning or in-person sessions. I'm sure some of you that teach kindergarten, first and second grade are wondering what that would look like. So in-person sessions or remote learning, we're still working through that. The location is to be determined, and it could be a central location or it could be at individual buildings. We sent a survey out to you last week, and we are looking for your input and what you feel like would be the best service model for our students for a Jumpstart summer school program. So please complete the survey.
All right, thank you. And like I said, those summer learning plans I know are going to be covered again in your staff meetings following this in more detail. Another topic that we've had to cover and continues to be something that we're working on is the summer activities, what that looks like. Obviously, definitely under the directive health measure and in cooperation with our local health officials, we would like to start some sort of conditioning as laid out by the governor, some strength building, conditioning, and then eventually some sport specific practices and individual skills. And so that plan is being talked about, being worked on by our coaches under the direction of Mr. Santos, our athletic director, and Mike Wright, our strength coordinator, of course. And I participated in a couple meetings last week, and I know they're well on the way to some plans for that. The online delivery or the virtual delivery will be the beginning of that, and then there's a plan for the coaches to reach out individually to their teams also. So all of that is going on. I think that'll continue to get more intense as the directive health measure becomes a little more broad, a little less strict, and so there's all kinds of room to grow there with that plan. And like I said, we're in a position where Doyle has also not only done some work on the gyms and the facilities, but he and his people are trained, so he can go in. He's now was something we've until this time we probably didn't know we needed to be trained in it or didn't have a need for, but he's trained to come in and fog a room. He can do that fairly quickly, and then that residue needs to sit for a little bit and then is wiped off. And so we'd have to do that with groups of kids as they come in. We're also doing some things with our HVAC systems that would provide for a sanitary environment. So we will take all that into account as we roll out, and we are definitely going to follow the directive health measure. Lance, I don't think I had given anybody a heads up if Mike or anybody, they're not on the Zoom with us. Okay. I think that'll be talked about mostly at the secondary level in the staff meetings on their agenda. So. All right. And then the other thing that's in the works, of course, is what back to school looks like. So just want everyone to know that at the cabinet level, we've been talking about this for a while, of course, and now have brought in the whole administrative team to plan for a couple different scenarios. So if we go to the bottom of this document, we did have 3 scenarios initially, but the one scenario we dropped just from the fact that that was the normal, starting like normal, just like a repeat of last year, normal time, normal registration event, kids in the seats, just like usual. It's becoming obvious, with all the college decisions that are being made at the higher education level across the state at other districts, that we're going to have to plan for what we think are a couple different scenarios. One would be, in person with an alternative schedule, smaller class sizes, social distancing, possibility of professional or personal protective things such as masks, and then just looking at different ways to deliver that curriculum. Another scenario that we are planning for so that we can manage our energy and our decisions is the possibility of virtual education, just like we ended with for a while until we can get back in person. So that would, a scenario like that would look like, starting virtually with online learning and possibility of August or before Labor Day, and then maybe like after Labor Day, bringing kids back. So those are the 2 scenarios that we're working on. The state of Nebraska, the Department of Education, has laid out a program called Launch Nebraska. So within that, we have created several committees, as you can see on the rest of the document. We're just starting to get going. The governance committee, which I and the directors are part of, we will meet June 11th. The committees have been given their assignments. They're going to work now, working hard on it, meeting, and they will come back to report with our first draft of a plan on June 11th. And the second draft, a more final draft, we're hoping to have done by June 18th, which will give us some direction for the back to school plans. So we'll keep everybody abreast of that. Like Lance had rolled out that we're no longer having our normal YouTube meetings that we've been having since the inception of this twice a week. But we may have, when these plans and other things such as this are finalized, we may have scheduled YouTube broadcasts. We'll keep everybody up to date. My goal and intent and all of our goals has been to have clear, consistent communication. The SSCA leadership has been great. They have reached out when there's questions. You guys have individually reached out when there's questions. I encourage you to continue to do that. There's no cards being hidden. We are trying to make decisions as quickly as possible, but we're also making them in a manner that is well thought out and rational. And so we'll continue to include all levels of leadership, but everything happens, how it happens in an organization according to the organizational chart. But we will continue to include all voices as needed, and then get that information to you as soon as we have it. So please trust and know that you are going to get the information as soon as we have it available and as soon as it can publicly be shared. And I talked to the SSCA leadership about that too. Like I said, they've done a great job of being a voice for you. You have a great group of officers right now and leaders, and we meet regularly. And in those meetings, we talk about things that have come up. They may be rumors, they may be fact, they may be actions that are occurring. Many of the things that are shared here today, I appreciate their confidence. They have a preview of first, and they give us input and also feedback. And I think we have a relationship where it can be one that's collegial. So there can be critical comments, and there may be positive comments, and there's no ill feelings. We continue to have a great working relationship. So with that being said, I want to thank them for all their work, because that has been stressful too. They have had to navigate those waters, and hopefully, like I said, it's been a good relationship for them. But Penny has agreed to speak on behalf of the Education Association this morning. I don't know how they arrived at that decision. I'm not even going to ask, but I welcome her, and good morning, Penny, and thank you guys for your leadership. It's been a great group to work with this year, and will continue to be.
Thank you, Mr. Strom. Hey, good morning to everybody. On behalf of the South Sioux City Education Association, welcome to the end of the school year. I think we can all say that once again, we have risen to the challenge. Congratulations on finishing the year Cardinal strong. As we look back at the last few months, it's difficult to put into words the hard work and the grit of each and every one of the folks that work at South Sioux. It definitely took a village, and I looked up that word village. Webster helped me out there a little bit. And it says a settlement of people clustered around a central point. And some of the key words they used were like maintain balance, unity, community, people who do not hesitate to help others. And, ladies and gentlemen, our SSC village, it is immense. It is powerful, it's flexible, it's creative, it's supportive. And you guys are that village. You've put our students first and foremost in thoughts and actions through your lessons, technology preparation, cleaning, the virtual learning, the Zooms, the parades, delivering thousands and thousands of meals, and many more creative ways. We want to thank you for being willing to go out on a limb, to try new things to reach our kids. Thank you for being willing to be flexible and creative in thought and practice. And thank you for providing support to coworkers, to their students and their families while meeting the needs of your own families. You certainly are priceless. It definitely takes a village. Thank you for being part of our SSC village. We couldn't do it without you. So stay healthy, stay safe, take time for you, enjoy your summer, and thank you, Mr. Strom. We do appreciate everything that you've done with the association and for us. Certainly appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Penny. Those fantastic words. Thank you so much. And best wishes to everyone on a great summer. Sharing a few thank yous now from our administrative staff. So if you could please take some time to read their signs.
Yeah, that was just to continue with the thank you theme. I had some cool music that's really was kind of hip queued up for this, but YouTube wouldn't let me play it for copyright reasons. So we're just going to enjoy the show. I'll give a little bit of a thing, but this is some of the things that we've done on or had going on over the whole pandemic situation here. And obviously the grab and go meals. And I think Penny talked about that, how awesome it was that our staff stepped up and helped out at all different levels. And once again, the food boxes that Becky was able to secure thanks to our generous community and our partners. And this one, Laura, shows about how the guidance folks and everybody else stepped up and made sure they got packed and delivered. Jill sharing a nice message about always believing in the best and helping out and being positive. Thank you for inspiring us every day. A great message and all the things you do for students. Thanks, Becky. Here's one from Ben, and just thanking everyone for being part of South City. Thanks, nice one from Jessica, and thank you for the kindergarten registration videos, by the way, which were awesome. And we couldn't have our kindergarten roundup in the normal way this year, so those kids going to kindergarten didn't have any idea what it was going to look like, and so they made some videos that kind of showed that process and what the school looked like and what the day looked like, and they were phenomenal. And how all the different staff at the different levels, but we know high school students, and they probably don't wake up until around noon in the summer, and I think their summer kind of started early with some of their sleeping habits. I know ours slowly at my house slowly crept into mid-morning, if not later, and that meant staying up a little bit later sometimes to help students out, to kind of meet them where they were at, and our staff did that. Our elementary teachers and with the leadership of the administration team down there made some wonderful videos and other content and created a whole learning hub for our students, which really sets us up for a great future, and to be able to start sharing some of that over close circuit TV or even our some of the public access abilities that sets us up for are just going to be huge. So thank you very much for that. Once again, another one of those transition videos. We normally get the 5th graders into the middle school so they get a feel for what it looks like, and things just like going through the lunch line at the middle school. For if you're a 5th grader coming up there, you're worried about and nervous, and so creating some videos to help alleviate some of that stress was huge. And some of the cards that some of the teachers were able to send out, and some of the custom-made cards that Becky and her fabulous team and folks stepped up and made. And this is Laura here showing some of those off. And there's Tom just showing thank you for joining in the reverse parade, which was a huge hit. We got so much positive feedback from that, and so many smiles that I could still see the smiles through the mask. Trust me, I could tell in the eyes. So thank you very, very much. I do want to, there were so many more things too, I can't even begin to start, but someone did ask me about the Cardinal Education Foundation. If you did sign up last year for the employee deduction, you need to sign up again this year. So you need to click on that link and sign up again this year. I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting me to have time to talk about that. Mr. Strom, any finishing thoughts?
Yeah, I just wanted to wish everybody a great summer. Just like Marcia said, you know, we are officially going to be on summer break now in a couple days, which we all need it. Just please step away, refuel yourself. Those of you that are teaching summer school, thank you so much. Thank you all for your resiliency. I've done some studies on resiliency this year through my leadership professional development. The number one factor in resilient people is that they have a larger network of positive relationships than many others. And it's because of all of us here and all of you that we're able to create that network. Our network happens to be our SSC family in many cases, and you're all positive people. And then the other thing is that the second factor is that those people ask for help often and quickly, which we all do through our processes. And we have a different anchor for our confidence. It's not based on our ego. And I see that all the time, especially in our leadership team, that we're willing to sacrifice for others, to ask questions, and to take advice from others, and so that we can all reach a common goal, and that's for our students. But take some time. You've all earned it and deserve it to recharge, relax. Thank you for your great work. And to our retirees, blessings always. Don't be a stranger. You're always welcome back. South Sioux is your home, and you have impacted a tremendous amount of lives, and that impact, as we know in education, will continue. It doesn't stop when you retire. That impact continues in people's lives forever. And just wish everyone the best. If you have any questions, does not matter when, please email, use Let's Talk. Like I said, we want to try to get back to you as soon as we can, but we also want to give everybody a chance to step away. So thank you, Lance, for organizing this in this weird time. I think it was a great presentation, and we'll end it. You have a little activity to end it with to help us kind of provide some closure to the year.
As people were joining us earlier, hopefully you got to see some of the slides from our from the different things we've been doing. There's some from the different parades, the reverse parade mostly they were from, and then we had some from the high school and middle school staff. Both did different drive up things to get kids out to students or get things collected from students, and I think all the buildings did some of that, and certainly got their share of that. But anyways, what are you most thankful for during this COVID-19 pandemic? I did make a little form that people could fill out. I'd love to hear from you and what you're thankful for, so to speak, or what you kind of was just, I'd like to hear from you. You chime in, and I'd like to make a little Wordle or something based upon what we get for feedback, just to kind of, have a record of that on this time, but it's totally optional. You don't have to do it. We'd sure love to hear from you though. One thing before we go, Doyle wanted me to mention that to do school dudes for work that's, he forgot to mention that to do school dudes if there's any work you need done.
Yeah, that's a good point. Those many of us have stepped away from the in-person classroom to the virtual classroom, so maybe not have had a chance to think about what physically needs to be done in your rooms. But if you could please let Doyle know, he said he's experiencing quite a drop in the demand of school dudes compared to this time of year on a regular year. What we don't want to have happen is come back and all of a sudden we have all these jobs and school dude requests and we're not able to get them done. So right now he has work orders available. So if you have some work that needs to be done, please fill out a school dude and let him know so that's ready to roll when we do get back in person. All right. Thank you, everyone, for your attention, and have a great summer. Thanks for all your work and your continued work. Go Cards. Very proud to be your superintendent.